Hey, baby dolls. I was watching Crypto7's show and he has an idea basically for onboarding. And I just want to speak, friends. I can't speak of anybody but myself, but I can read the room. Mr. Crypto7 is a very, very optimistic, upbeat, permabull, Richard Hart, PulseChain, PulseX, Hex, very, very optimistic all the time. When I'm watching this video though, I see somebody who's looking at a dead body over here and telling the cops, oh yeah, he slipped. Had the bullet ended up in his head. Oh, he slipped. He fell on the gun. The bullet fired, ricocheted off the roof, back and hit the lamp, and that shot him in the head, at the back of the head. Okay, so I'm seeing someone who's like that. So Mr. 7 is trying to give really good adoption, onboarding technique, and I think he's got some really, really good points in this video here and there. He's throwing some ideas. So I'll let him speak just for one quick one here, for example.
Really, we should be calling ourselves the Pulsicans. I don't think we should be calling ourselves Hexicans anymore. But really, the easy way to sell Hex is simply by selling PulseChain. And when they come, then you say, listen, as you make your money in PulseChain, as you make your first 50x, you might want to start staking some of those gains in Hex on PulseChain, which is a phenomenal store of value. So I think the sell is really easy. I mean, and that's what I think I'm going to concentrate on, how to help the community to promote their investments, how to stop the rot on X, how to...
Yeah, so Mr. 7 is basically, I think he's gone through a lot of the comments. He can see that's basically where the weather's basically changing to, the season's changing towards that. And I think he's got a very valid point. I think for the whole community, it's easier to sell one thing first, the funnel. What's the funnel? PulseChain. Remember, friends, how do they think about it, how do they even buy P-Hex? They've got to use Pulse Ramp. I've had people who told me, oh, how do I buy the Hex on PulseChain? You got to get into PulseChain first. So it's just natural that people like learn and get familiar with that as well. And I think it's pretty obvious, like it's Richard Hart's new baby, Cycle One coin, has these other advantages as well. And that's basically pretty much it. I think that's like a very mature response. Let's even be adults in the room. You're like, okay, that makes logical sense. Come and play around. Like, for example, friends, what are people coming in crypto for? They want AI. We don't have anything. We don't have any AI in PulseChain whatsoever. Okay, they're coming for gaming. We don't have gaming either. Maybe we'd have one game. We don't have any of those. But they're coming for memes. All right, we've got memes. So we got 1 out of 3. We don't have 2 out of 3. We got 1 out of 3. It's focused on the 1 out of 3. We have memes. Memes, you know them all. Tangang, Teddy Bear, Pedo, all these other things, trying to get people in. And very, very strong and valid, right? You're seeing Peppy, Run, Dog with a Hat. So there's big use cases there, friends. Memes, big sector. So if you are participating in those meme coins, and let's say there's a big adoption pump, Richard Hart sells the top on Ethereum, and we have some big season and stuff, and you're one of the fortunate people, you're in one of the meme coins. Let's say Tangang hits $1, something happens, right? And you want to take some profit for yourself. I think it's mature as well to say, hey man, you know, like PulseX is owning the casino. PLSX, that's owning the casino. So if you're owning that, you're not as much at risk of the volatility if Bitcoin like turns around and poops the bed. You're not that risk. So you're adding to a long-term stack here and there. You see how we have that concept there? That's for the meme coin crowd. So PulseX is for the meme coin crowd. So if you like playing meme coins and stuff, and you believe other people do, which you can familiarize yourself with them, you relate to them, I think it's very, very important that you basically take that concept and go, oh, sweet. So if I'm taking profit, I should take profit into PulseX. That's one way to think about it, okay? So what Mr. 7's saying now, take that general concept, but for every coin. It's basically like, well, come in for PulseChain and you want to take profits and stuff here and there. Well, maybe you've done some, people do trading, people are on bucks, leverage trading, exchange. Maybe they made profits here and there on Fame. Maybe they're trading other meme coins. Maybe they're doing ratios stuff. Maybe they're earning yield on a farm. It is what it is. Everybody makes money different ways. Maybe your friends outside of the ecosystem and you've done a launch pad, right? ICO, IDO. It is what it is, okay? Flipping NFTs, all right? God bless you, whatever you do. He's basically saying, well, just consider some of those profits, putting them into Hex. As he says, like the premier store of value and stuff. That's one alternative to basically just keep that option there for people. Because this whole labeling stuff, it's basically it's not going the way that you would want at all. You've got to become brutally honest with yourself to look in the mirror. So yeah, thanks Mr. 7 as well. He's throwing out ideas and stuff here and there. I think in Read the Room in terms of like onboarding here and there. So he's basically suggesting like, are we now hexagons or pulsicans? Obviously we are whatever word that is. Hexagons will always be the OGs, but you got to think, right? Richard is playing for the Ethereum ETF. That's the new narrative. Okay, Bitcoin ETF, done. We're just living the hype volume of it now. Now there's the Ethereum ETF coming next. So with the Ethereum ETF, Ethereum goes higher in price, becomes more expensive. Premier blockchain of the world, New York of the world, right? Digital New York real estate, very expensive to use. Decentralized block space because it's very high demand, right? It's not that they put the fees up on purpose. It's very high demand. So PulseChain is a cheaper version of Ethereum. It's a cheaper version. It's an earlier version. Okay, it looks out for the little guy. Okay, but you're going to have to do some, kind of, you know what? Don't look at this. Okay, you just got to be honest with people. Yes, you still got to have to say that. PulseChain's looking out for the little guy. It was designed to do 14,000x. Okay, it's got a vibrant community, 70 streamers, 140 plus content creators. PulseChain was made for PHEX, right? You can say those things. So everyone's basically Pulsicans now. Because remember, you're trying to leverage on Ethereum now because the Bitcoin ETF, there's no marketing adoption strategy with like Bitcoin ETF now. There's only one Bitcoin. There's only one store of value there. That's it. Okay, others can claim it, right? That's why you believe that Hex is an early version of that, but there's no narrative to grab people in. It's because why? It's been done for many, many cycles before. That's why. Bitcoin's basically destroyed Litecoin, destroyed everything else. They don't even have gamblers in them anymore. Okay, so it's just Bitcoin there, store of value. Everything else isn't now. Funny, if ETH-BTC flips, if Ethereum flips Bitcoin, Ethereum's the store of value now. That's going to confuse people. But guess what? That's what Richard Hart believes is going to happen. That's why I'll play for you some nice, gentle pump music. Richard, very intelligent. That's what he's playing for. He's playing for Ethereum to flip Bitcoin. He believes it will. If he's got a Bitcoin $240,000 target, that means he's got an Ethereum target of 30,000. Right? Now, it doesn't have to flip at that price, but it is. If Bitcoin is 100,000, Ethereum would be 16,000 to flip it. So these numbers are very high compared to today anyway, and everybody's turbo along the Ethereum ecosystem because, the sacrifice funds, no expectations, but wink, wink, have expectations for him to sell the top rotate profits in. All of that is happening at the same time, okay? So when you're talking to people here, that's probably what we have to go forward. Obviously, I don't speak on. You can do whatever you want. Just telling you is, it seems to me the PulseChain price chart and PulseX, they just seem to have less baggage, okay? They just seem to have less baggage. And I can show it to you now. Just you can see them. The pain of people, for example, this is, let's have a look at the charts here. Up the top left here is Pulse. Okay, you can just see, it's ready to go. It's really ready to go. But it's not up to obviously me, it's up to the market here. Obviously you got PulseX ready to go. This is PulseX too. So, they're just a bit different, a bit heavier than Hex, but that's today, okay? Bit heavier than Hex. But it is what it is. So this is basically the chart, as you can see right here. It's not that perfect U-turn. It's actually down here. So we got to focus on the strengths. That's what it is. What it is. There are neutral, independent Bitcoin maxis. Their strategy is not Bitcoin only by like gospel. For example, Dan Held. Okay, so Dan Held. Shout out to Danny Boo. Right, Mr. Heldy. His strategy is, look, I believe Bitcoin's the best store of value in the world. And it clearly is, that's what he's saying. And he says, look, I believe altcoins will always exist and people will continue to experiment on them. And the best ideas will eventually be on Bitcoin. However, as like a free-spirited libertarian, you are free to gamble on the altcoins. Okay, I can't stop you. I just believe that if you get lucky in stuff, if you make profits in stuff, you should be using Bitcoin as your store of value and to go back into there. I think that's a very healthy and mature response going forward to do that. It doesn't mean everybody's going to follow it, but you have someone there to talk to people. That's the average person. You need people who are maxis on the end. You need your Max Kaisers. Because a lot of you guys forgot who Dan Held is. You just remember Max Kaiser because Max Kaiser's the maxi going on saying only this. But let's be brutally honest. Max Kaiser can only talk about Bitcoin and have the flair and ferocity because Bitcoin actually goes up. and Bitcoin goes up in a bear market and it recovers first. So yeah, he can do that. You don't see a Max Kaiser anywhere else with any other coin, friends. You don't, because you need them to go up. You need them to go up for multiple seasons. That's why there is only one like that. So I think going forward, that's pretty much what everyone's got to do. PulseChain's the name. Okay, instead of bang, 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 E-Hex and P-Hex and Ink and all that, just PulseChain. And PulseChain's got a home for everyone. It looks out for the little guy. That's what you have, the Pulsicans, and then everyone can find their own way here. You like your meme coins, you can own the casino with PulseX. Oh, you can even bet on the meme coins. Okay, you like your store of value, you got a long-term family mindset, you can go play around in PHEX. Okay, you like your yield farms, you got your ink. So that's basically the funnel. It seems to be very, very clear. Okay, so make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, I'll catch you soon.